Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Kristen DeVries. I am the Vice President of University Advancement here at Lawrence Technological University, and I'm very pleased to serve as your MC for this afternoon. Having been with Lawrence Tech for just about 6 weeks, I am absolutely thrilled to express my own deep appreciation for all of you whose commitment and generosity have been made tangible in such a really remarkable way. Thanks to you, the A. Alfred Taubman Architecture, Engineering, and Life Sciences Complex aims high. It is the home of the Marburger STEM Center that promotes the academic programs that Mr. Taubman envisioned. Now I'd like to introduce other members of Lawrence Tech's leadership. You'll note these are all the individuals around you who have smiles as big as mine today. I'll start with the trustees. If you can stand when I call your name, and we'll applaud for you at the end. Fred Adams, Lauren Bowler, John Petty, John Smith, and Dave Wolleen. I'd also like to introduce two gentlemen very key to the success of this building, Dr. Richard Marburger, President Emeritus, and Dr. Lewis Walker, former President. I'd now like to introduce the Vice Presidents at Lawrence Technological University, Maria Vaz, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Bruce Annette, Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations, Linda Height, Vice President of Finance and Administration. And our academic leadership also with us here today, Nabil Grace, Dean of the College of Engineering, Xiaoping Moore, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Carl Taubman, Dean of the College of Architecture and Design, Baman Mirshab, Dean of the College of Management, Kevin Finn, our Dean of Students, and the woman with the biggest smile on her face today, Sabrina Collins, the inaugural Executive Director of the Marburger STEM Center. Our first speaker today is Douglas Ebert, Chair of the University's Board of Trustees, who has served on the board since 2006. Mr. Ebert is the former Chief Operating Officer of the Cranbrook Educational Community and has also held a number of positions with the former Michigan National Corporation and Michigan National Bank, including Chief Operating Officer, Vice Chairman, President, and CEO. Chairman Ebert.
Kristen, thank you. It's certainly been an exciting first 6 weeks for you, so I can't wait to see what you're going to do after you really get your feet on the ground here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As chairman of the Board of Trustees of Lawrence Technological University, it's my special pleasure to welcome you and to thank all of you who are here today who have had a hand in making this new building possible. Since its beginning nearly 85 years ago, LTU has been purposeful in its academic innovation and in partnering with the business and the corporate community. That very close and very special relationship is commemorated in Lawrence Tech's model on the seal that you see right here in front of me, theory and practice, and even in the two allegorical figures that appear in our seal, one a scholar and the other a worker in industry. This campus is the epicenter of one of the world's great centers of technological achievement and innovation. Here and in locations that stretch far beyond, Lawrence Tech students and alumni make remarkable contributions to businesses and industries of all types. And for most, they're not just pursuing a job, they've found a calling. It was September 19th, 2014, nearly 2 years ago to the day, to today, that I stood not far from this spot with Al Taubman, my left arm in a sling, trying to shovel dirt during the groundbreaking ceremony. We've come a long way since then, baby. Today, we mark the opening of a remarkable new building that will allow this university to better prepare our students for their professions, and to take full advantage of the opportunities in the emerging fields. We appreciate your support, your participation, your contributions, and your enthusiasm. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all that you do for this university and for our students. Kristen, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ebert. Dr. Verinder Madgill has served as Lawrence Tech's president since July of 2012. A longtime educator and distinguished researcher, he's leading one of this university's greatest periods of growth and progress in enrollment, in fundraising, and in our campus development. President Madgill?
Thank you, Kristen. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me also to join Mr. Ebert in extending a very warm welcome to all of you. Over the past decade, Lawrence Technological University has set a new bar of excellence in teaching, in innovation, in service to the region, and in engaging and supporting students. This momentum is matched by the growing confidence of supporters of LTU in the ongoing process. Our capital campaign has been tremendous effort, but as we look about this campus, the results have been so very worth it. Everyone who has been part of the campaign, the volunteers and the generous contributors, many are here, should be very proud of all that has been accomplished. So today, we have much to celebrate. Between 2006 and 2016, alumni, community leaders, corporation foundations, and other organizations donated more than $125 million in private support, significantly surpassing the campaign's initial $17 million target, and even exceeding the stretch of $100 million goal, setting a new record for university fundraising. Thank you. This groundswell of support is one of the most exciting things happening at LTU, and the future of this institution is brighter because of it. The capstone of the success of the campaign is what we are celebrating today. The $16.9 million A. Alfred Taubman Engineering, Architecture, and Life Sciences Complex. Cutting edge and state-of-the-art may be overused terms, but one look at these spaces, they'll all seem more inadequate than cliche. Nearly 37,000 square feet of spectacular learning space, laboratories, and collaborative areas, with support for expanding interdisciplinary programs such as robotics, biomedical engineering, mechatronics, and architectural engineering. This new complex is being named for the man, a prominent civic and business leader, and a great humanitarian who got it all underway. A. Alfred Taubman, as a Lawrence Tech student, sat in the classroom and studios and experienced the type of academic challenges that students still face today. The man we honor today with the naming of this building and his family are among Michigan's most generous philanthropists and among nation's leading supporters in enhancing the quality of higher education. Alfred Taubman was also one of America's great entrepreneurs, premier real estate developers, and operator of regional shopping centers. We were saddened by his passing last year, and that he could not be here with us to see the completion of this building. But his imprint looks larger because he took an active interest in its design and selection of its architects. I was sharing with Mr. Taubman's son earlier that he was so much interested that he called the architect to his office, designer, and he wanted to see the building he had done in New York, so I went with him to see the New York building. This is how much interest he took in the project. Lawrence Tech is proud to count Alfred among his former students and late in his life as one of the most popular professors. We are fortunate and honored to be recipient of his generosity and vision. It was his lead gift, $1 million seed grant and $10 million challenge grant, which gave immediate momentum to this campaign. This inspired others to join us. We are delighted that Taubman family, that include Mr. Taubman's son, Robert and William, are here today at this historic event. So please help me give a special welcome to them. I now ask Mr. Robert Taubman, or as he would like, Bobby Taubman, to present remarks on behalf of the family. Bobby?
My old man would have loved it. I mean, class act, he would have loved it. Thank you all. It is an honor to be here today. On behalf of my brother Billy and our entire family, we'd like to thank you for inviting us to this very special celebration of the Alfred Taubman Engineering, Life Sciences, and Architecture Complex. I'd like to start by thanking Lawrence Tech University President and CEO, Dr. Modgill, Provost Dr. Vaz, and the full Board of Trustees. I'd also like to acknowledge past President Dr. Lewis Walker, past Chairman Lloyd Royce, and past CFO Steve Brown, all of whom played an enormous role in our being here today. Our father was an amazing person who believed in constantly giving back to the community that supported him throughout his life. It's hard to believe that he's been gone now for almost a year and a half. He was a lifelong learner, and he believed deeply that education can change people's lives. He had a great affinity for Lawrence Tech because it gave him the flexibility to both continue his education, usually at night, and work full-time as he married and started his family. Even before he was able to complete his studies, he began his company now 66 years ago as one of the earliest design-build contractors. He ultimately matriculated to being a developer and became one of the leading pioneers of what is now the modern shopping mall. Throughout his career, he always thought of himself first and foremost a planner and programmer of space. To this day, the hallmark of our company that my brother Billy and I run day to day is understanding better than anyone how to program and create retail space. It all goes back to his training as an architect right here at Lawrence Tech. In honor of the time he spent here and the opportunities it provided both for him and many others that have worked and are working today, we have about a dozen people in our company today that were educated right here at Lawrence Tech. He was extremely proud to help create the Student Services building just over there. As I understand it, it's become a very central part of the campus. He was also really pleased to be the catalyst for this new building we are dedicating today. This engineering, architecture, and life sciences complex provides a collaborative space, and Billy and I just walked through it earlier, and a learning environment For emerging technologies, we saw robotics, we saw the biomedical engineering, the mechatronics, the life sciences and architecture and engineering. It really would have excited him. And I have no doubt our father would have spent hours here meeting the educators, meeting the students, and reveling in the new technologies and advancements that were being created here. And while my father loved creating interesting spaces, he was even more curious about what happened inside of them. And as Dr. Modgill said, in fact, over the years, he taught several courses here. He really loved doing it, and he would bring in from around the world, architects that were very well known to talk about projects and different programs that they were involved in. Our father often referenced Winston Churchill, who said it best: "We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us." Thank you again for allowing our family to share in this moment. We wish the faculty and students all our best. Hope they enjoy this tremendous facility and that it helps give them the tools to compete in an ever-changing world, and even one day have the opportunity to give back as he has been able to do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby, for your kind remarks and for your family's generous support during this effort and beyond. As a special token of our appreciation, we have framed a photographer that would like to present to you and your brother, Gail, who could not be here today. This shows the building as it appears in the evening, dramatically lit from within as a beacon of scholarship. Your father attended an evening student. I think it's inappropriate that this building, which will often be used 24/7, as seen as your father would have seen it had he been here today. So here is the presentation. I hope you could come forward. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Taubman just mentioned to you, that their generous support really triggered to receive additional support to not only complete this building, but to have additional programs. So I have some additional very special news for you today. As many of you know, a $20 million gift that sparked this campaign. It is the largest gift in Lawrence Tech's history. The donor originally asked to be anonymous. Last week, during the Detroit's homecoming, they revealed that Lawrence Tech and Country Day schools have been the beneficiary of their support, and they have allowed me now to share their names, Steve and Connie Baumer. I know that Mr. Taubman, the elder Taubman, was so pleased that we were able to match his challenge so we could complete the building. He was so visionary knowing that this will happen. As many of you know, Steve is a former LTU student, Steve Baumer, who went on to lead one of the world's largest and most successful companies, the Microsoft Corporation. He has long taken an interest in Lawrence Tech and has been especially appreciative of President Emeritus Richard Marburger, who back in 1960s allowed Steve to co-enroll in LTU's toughest math courses, while Steve was a student at Detroit Country Day School. Dr. Marburger, please rise for our applause for a minute. Thank you. Thank you. To you can truly be applied, Dr. Marburg, a statement that once was made about great 17th century architect Christopher Wren. If you seek his monument, look about you. It is here. The Bomber generous gift in honor of Dr. Marburger has allowed us to establish the Marburger STEM Center and rapidly expand our efforts in teaching STEM and design education, both here at the university setting and even in the primary, secondary grades, to help spark interest and abilities in these subjects. We are profoundly grateful for the Bombers' tremendous generosity to follow Mr. Taubman's challenge. With their support, LTU remains firmly committed to offering STEM and STEM leading education. STEM is part of LTU DNA, and it has been since we were formed at the edge of Henry Ford's famous Model T plant in 1932. Ladies and gentlemen, including you, we have many other special guests here today. Please rise as I call the name of our partners in the design and architect and construction of this magnificent building. Brandon Welling, Principal of Design Architect, Morphosis. Brandon? Right there, thank you. And any of your colleagues from Morphosis who flew in from California to join us. The architect of the record is Detroit-based Albert Kahn family of companies led by Alan Cobb and his colleagues who are here. Their president and CEO, Alan Cobb, and LTU alum, Alan. The general contractor is DeMaria Building Company of Detroit and Novi, represented by Jackie Walker, marketing manager. Is she here, Jackie? Thank you. Thank you for the tremendous effort all of you, your companies and colleagues and workers have put in to make this dream come reality. Ladies and gentlemen, every day, almost sometimes twice a day, I will come and visit this building from the time the first brick was laid till its completion. There was one person I always asked, Joe, what is the status? And that's Joe Verizer. He kept a very close eye on every development of the building. We owe him a great gratitude. Joe, are you here somewhere? Thank you. We also want to recognize this university's great friends here in the city of Southfield, led by Mayor Ken Siver. We have a great relation with the city, and they have been with us for everything we needed to help support our program and construction. How fortunate Lawrence Tech is to be located in part at this dynamic community. Mr. Mayor, please rise along with your colleagues in the government. All the government officials from City of Southfield, thank you. Lawrence Tech's founders and predecessors had great vision, and they fully expected that LTU graduates would change the world. And our graduates have, and they continue to do so every day. Lawrence Tech alumni, please rise and be acknowledged for your accomplishments. Alumni of Lawrence Tech, any in the audience? Thank you, thank you. We all recognize that Taubman Complex and Marburger STEM Center activities will fundamentally redefine the campus experience and the way this university serves our students. In addition to the support from Taubman and Bombers, literally hundreds of other gifts, large and small, sparked the success of this campaign. We have reached this milestone thanks to your generosity, everyone, supporters and contributors and donors. Hard work of so many faculty, staff, and members is acknowledged as well, especially our volunteers who did this without any expectation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Modgill. Now I'd like to introduce the Executive Vice President of LTU's Student Government, Mateusz Gibiec. Matt is originally from Poland. He came to the United States at 16 as an exchange student and was inspired to study engineering in America. Fortunately, that opportunity arrived when he got spotted by LTU's soccer coach, who offered him a position on our soccer team. He is now a junior pursuing a computer engineering degree. He also works for Isuzu North America in model-based development and powertrain engineering. Matt?
Thank you. Good evening, honored guests, alumni, faculty, staff, and friends. My name is Mateusz Gibiec, and I'm representing the student body of Lawrence Technological University as the Executive Vice President of Lawrence Technological University Student Government. First of all, I would like to thank to all of the donors that made the construction of this amazing building possible. Special thanks goes to Alfred Taubman and his whole family that not only contributed to the construction of this amazing building, but also helped with the Taubman Student Services Center, as well as the pepper sculpture Occam's Wedge that is very unique part of our campus. Another special thanks goes to Mrs. and Mr. Balmer for their gift honoring Dr. Marburger. The Marburger STEM not only provides a great opportunity for Lawrence Tech students, but will also impact the STEM education regionally. In here, I would like to tell you how student body is thankful for everything you do for us and for every single addition to the campus. I myself can't wait to have more classes in this building. I talked to a lot of my friends, our teammates, and they're all excited to experience different labs and lectures in new facilities, new equipment. It's very important since this building allows us to see another step what we'll be facing in the future in our careers. And we're really thankful for everything you do for us. Moreover, I would like to mention that the conference rooms and certain parts of the building give us space when we can study and even spend our free time, which I think is really important since many students also look for the opportunities to study on campus rather than the dorms, which this building gives us an opportunity like that. In closing, I would like to thank one more time Taubman family, Mr. and Mrs. Balmer, and all of the donors, as well as all of you for coming here today and celebrating the ribbon cutting of this amazing building. Thank you so much from the LTU student body.
Thank you very much, Matt. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for, the cutting of the ribbon. We're actually going to do this in phases so that we have photos of plenty of people. So let's start with Dr. Modgill, members of the Taubman family, Chairman Ebert, and Mr. Gibietz.